Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back after, 2 weeks is a long time between stuff. But you know what? We got it fresh in our minds what happened in those championship games, and we're going to talk about that Super Bowl, which is coming up on Sunday. I am joined, as always, by Jose Gomes, but we're going to have to change his name soon because that quarterback that we're going to talk about is going to be gone soon, a.k.a. Jimmy Gag. And I'm joined also by Gil Santos, whose team got eliminated by Jimmy Gag, which is even funnier than how they got beat last week. So let's start this one off. We're gonna give you guys a short summary of what happened the prior week and how these teams got to the Super Bowl. We're gonna start with the 49ers. Okay, the 49ers had a 17-7 lead. They had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, just like they did in the Super Bowl, and they choked. And they choked because Jimmy Garbaggio, Jimmy Gag, Jose G stunk in the fourth quarter. That's what happened. Now, I don't want to be too hard on Jimmy G, and here's the reason why. Because it's more than just about Jimmy G now. This is a coaching problem. That's right, Kyle Shanahan. I'm calling your ass out. Because this is the second straight time you've been in the playoffs with this team, had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and choked. And I'm going to go even back further than that. The last 3 times this guy's had a lead in the fourth quarter in the playoffs, he's been outscored 52-0 in the fourth quarter in overtime. That's terrible. And I remember when Jose told me that they were hiring Kyle Shanahan, I said, "You want to hire that choker?" Well, he's been in the playoffs 2 times in 5 years, but he's a genius. He chokes in the fourth quarter, but he's a genius. And he needs the special teams to block a punt for him to win a game against Green Bay. So you know what? I'm starting to wonder if Kyle Shanahan's a genius. But we're going to find out next year when our boy Trey Lance takes over the team. Because it's over, Jimmy G. Say your goodbyes now. Go find another team to screw up because you're gone. And the Rams came back to win. Congrats to Matt Stafford. He's proven me wrong. But it's not proven wrong until he wins the Super Bowl. Before I get to Jose, who has probably a different opinion, Gil, what did you think of that game and what happened?
Well, that game was just lack of focus. They got too excited, I think, underestimated the Rams. The defense should have continued playing the way they were. It's almost like they got soft there at the end. They played zone, and I think they got caught up in that where they gave them too much space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cup caught them and took advantage. Jose, what did you think of the elimination of our 49ers, other than me jinxing
it? What did I think? I think so many things, man. The game, they started off well, going up by 10. The second half, the defense was stupid penalties. They had 2 after the play penalties of 15-yard penalties that the Rams capitalized. They went down the field. They scored a field goal and a touchdown. That stupid interception that should have been made by Jaworski Tart.
Yeah,
that's like a turning point in the game right there.
Had the ball in his hands. Yep.
He had the ball in his hands. I don't think you can catch an easier ball than that.
Yeah.
And then at the end the pressure got to Jimmy G, and he was getting sacked. He tried to throw the ball away, it goes off the fingertips of the running back, and it goes into the guy's hands of the Rams.
Now, for anyone who didn't see that,
I do agree with you. I do what?
For anyone who didn't see that, go to YouTube and see how ridiculous this guy looks trying to throw a pass while he's going to the ground in the air and throwing the game away with an interception. I thought Carson Wentz was bad. Well, guess what? Me making fun of Carson Wentz came back to bite me because our quarterback turned into Carson Wentz.
Listen, if you look, go look back at the ball. The ball goes right through the running back's hands.
That's a ridiculous play, Jose. It's ridiculous.
He's trying to get away with it was going to be 4th down and 20-something yards anyway. So might as well just try to go get away with it and see what happens. But he got intercepted so well. Yeah, of course. And the defense did play bad the second half. They were giving the Rams a lot of passing. I can't believe you leave Cooper Kupp open for those touchdowns that he scored. You got to double team his ass. He's the only guy that's doing anything besides OBJ, like getting short passes and stuff like that. So you got to cover like the main wide receiver. But well, it was a good run. Jimmy G is consistent. Like we all know that he's not a quarterback to be consistent during the whole seasons. You know, he was always injured, like one of those interception prone. And then we'll see next year with Trey Lance, see how it goes. And but you know what? I still think today when I was hearing Joe Montana talk and stuff like that, saying that they should get a veteran quarterback. Still, I don't think Trey Lance is ready. I don't know. We'll see. But
well, they traded the farm for him, right? So it's time to make him sink or swim. Like I don't think you can make him sit for another year after trading the farm for him. They had their chance, Jose. Idiot John Lynch had his chance to get a veteran quarterback. His name is Tom Brady, who's retired now. And we would have 2 more Super Bowls if that happened. But they decided to keep Jimmy G. So I don't want to go there. Okay.
Sometimes it's not all about the decision. Just when they were trying to get Brady, they went to ask New England for Brady, and New England said no, we're not trading Brady.
They turned him down twice.
Yeah, they went to get the Garoppolo, and then the year that the Brady goes to the Bucks, they just finished signing Jimmy G to a $25 million per year contract. So they're not going to get rid of that contract that easily. Yeah. So it is some mistakes by the GM, but you can't blame him. He's made a good team. He's built a good team. So next year with a better quarterback that can run and get away from the pressure and stuff like that, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll turn into Patrick Mahomes. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, we'll get to this game quickly. One question about this game, was this more about Kansas City choking and Patrick Mahomes choking, who everyone calls the GOAT, which is a joke, or was this more about Joe Burrow stealing it or winning the game, Gil?
Well, Cincinnati came back because that game looked like it was over, and KC let them back in, right? So
yeah, the turning point was the 5 seconds when they didn't kick the field goal.
When they kicked the field goal, yes. So, but Cincinnati did their thing. I'm happy for Burrows. He got drafted as the guy, and he's proving the guy, putting Cincinnati on the map. He's going to keep Cincinnati on the map for a while.
Jose, more about Kansas City choking, Mahomes choking, or Burrow?
I think absolutely. I think Kansas City choked that game away.
Yeah,
you're in the 4th down and goal and you don't score.
Kick the field goal.
And you don't score a touchdown there with that offense that you guys have.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, I don't know what happened. The team was totally
got disoriented.
Like I guess Cincy got momentum after stopping them in that drive in the last for the halftime, and then Mahomes throws a couple of picks and stuff like that. So I think KC choked that game away. But you got to give props to Cincinnati. The defense came up big in the second half, and their offense put up the points. And Money Mac, another winning and another winning field goal.
So now we have the Rams playing Cincinnati in LA's home in SoFi. As currently speaking, the Rams are a 4-point favorite. The over-under is 48.5. The line opened up at 4 and 50.5. So there's some money on the under. I liked Gil's pregame talk. So I'm going to ask Gil first. Who do you have in the game and why?
Well, game, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I think I agree with you on your Stafford predictions. I think Stafford goes up sometimes. He doesn't. I picture the Bengals going in with more hunger.
Yeah.
I picture Stafford trying to do too much, and he's gonna get caught. My prediction would be a coin toss head. I predict Joe Burrow smoking a cigar after he wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's probably what he's going to do. Joe
Cool over there. And I think Jamar Chase, too, will probably catch over, what is it,
80 something, 80. Yeah.
I think he'll go. I think he'll go over, too. And, good luck to both teams, but I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Jose, who do you like in this game?
I like
And
the
why?
Rams in this one.
Like the Rams. Okay.
I like the Rams. I just one home field that's gonna come play in the advantage too. Second, I think their defense. You've seen Tennessee put a lot of pressure on that offensive line on Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's offensive line is their weakness, and I think with the pressure that Donald and Von Miller can put pressure on that line, I think Burrow's gonna get sacked a lot. So and I just think that offensively, I think the Rams are clicking right now with OBJ, with Cooper Cup, and Akers coming, like giving a little bit of an offensive running game to it too. So it's a little bit of both dimensions and stuff. And I to me, I just think the Rams are I think they're gonna blow them out. I think the Rams are gonna beat them by like more than 10 points. I think it's gonna be
Jose,
a slaughter.
game's in LA, Jose. Remember,
I know the game's in LA.
it's the Hollywood jinx, buddy.
I don't think so, man. I think the Rams they try to build it for this team to win the championship. They traded all their draft picks for this, and I think that it's gonna happen, man. I think they're gonna do it.
They had to leave LA the first time to actually win a Super Bowl to become the St. Louis Rams.
It's okay.
They had to, all the LA teams, the Raiders, whoever's LA doesn't win. They have to get out to win.
There was never LA Raiders. It was Oakland Raiders, but it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay.
So, okay.
It's just my opinion. I think they're gonna win.
Okay, so here's what I think about this game. Yes, Jose is correct about the offensive line, and we saw what happened to Kansas City with no offensive line last year. They got destroyed by Tom Brady in that defense. The Rams defense is good but inconsistent. But with the weapons they have, you would think, oh my God, they're going to sack Burrow a million times, and this time they won't be able to stay within range like Tennessee. But let me tell you something about Matthew Stafford. He's been great. But there comes a time when this guy chokes and we'll throw a bunch of picks. I think it might be this game. Now, the question is, can what's his name? The Jalen Ramsey, can he nullify Jamar Chase? If he does that, then it limits what Cincinnati could do. However, Joe Mixon's got a big advantage over LA's running game. So if Cincinnati can somehow stop the run and force Stafford to throw the ball deep or throw it up in the air to Tart, and the guy actually catches it, then maybe we're talking a different story here. So I will take Joe Burrow, who's been great in high school, great in college, has beaten all the tough teams, has beaten Alabama, has won every big game of his life. I'm going to take him over a guy who hasn't won a big game in his life until this year. And I'm going to take Cincinnati to win. And at the very least, this will be a close game. This will be a cover job. The Rams have not shown me they can blow out anybody. They had a 27-3 lead on Tampa Bay. They choked that away. They should have lost to San Francisco. Jose is right. Tart should have caught the ball. Tart catches the ball. The 49ers are in the Super Bowl, and Matt Stafford's a choker for throwing the ball up in the air like a punt. So I got Cincinnati because I believe Joe Burrow can either keep this game close enough for Money Mac. That's right, for Money Mac, or Stafford to throw a pick. So I'm going to take Cincy to cover the 4. I like the under 48.5 points. I think Joe Burrow will be the MVP. There will be more than 2.5 field goals, and there will be more than 5.5 sacks. I think OBJ goes over his total as well because they're going to double Cooper Kupp, and that's going to leave him on one-on-one coverage. So who do you guys like for MVP in the game? Because that's a popular pick. Let's get an MVP pick. Shaquille?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Burrow. And Jose, who will be the MVP? Because there's a lot of candidates from the Rams if they win the game.
Matt Stafford.
You think it's going to be Stafford? He's getting it done. You know what? If the Rams win, I think it's going to be a defensive player or Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, to me, he's the reason they're in the Super Bowl right now. The big play, like the San Francisco game, the 2 big plays were Cooper Kupp, and the Tampa Bay game, he makes 2 huge catches. Like,
and I mean, and who throws the ball to Cooper Kupp?
Look at the moves. The guy set world records this year for receiving catches, for receiving yards. Yak counts for the receiver, not the quarterback. But like I said, they've been great. I just think Stafford's going to choke. That's why I got Cincinnati. So that's our picks for the Super Bowl, guys. I hope you all are going to enjoy the game. We saw the end of Tom Brady's career. Before we go, a quick little memory, guys. What do you guys think of Tom Brady ending his career, and what do you think he's the greatest player of all time? Jose?
In our generation right now, yeah, he was the greatest quarterback of all time. I think he's not good. I think he's going to come back. I don't think he's going to retire for long. I think he's probably going to miss it after week 1 and come back for a championship team, like a contending team, and come back to win another Super Bowl.
Gonna pull a Brett Favre, eh?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he just, maybe right now he just wants to spend time with the family and stuff like that. But then when he realizes he's gonna go crazy at home, just putting up with the wife and the kids, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go play back. I'm gonna go play football. So no, but he's great, man. Tom Brady's he's but like you gotta give him credit too. Like he's a good quarterback, but he's been also in a good championship teams. Like all the teams that he's won, they had good defenses, they had good players around him and stuff like that. So he's been blessed with good players around him, good coaching. So it's but he is amazing. He's got all the skills of a quarterback. I don't know, man. He's the greatest of all time. You can't say nothing of our generation in the quarterback position. That's my opinion.
Gil, your thoughts?
Let me tell you my props for. I didn't give you my guys. I'm going with tails.
Oh yes,
for the coin flip.
Okay,
I'm going for tails coin flip.
Yeah,
I'm going under on the national anthem at the time. I believe it's
a minute. What is it at? 130,
134 or something.
Right.
I'm going under on the national anthem.
Yeah.
The first song is going to be "California Love" by Dr. Dre at halftime. And
interesting. Okay.
And for the players, I'm going over receiving yards on Odell Beckham Jr. and over rushing yards for Cam Akers.
For the halftime, it's going to be DRE is going to be the first song. You're going to hear that ding, 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 ding. That's the first thing you're going to hear when halftime starts.
I like California Love. Right? I like California
because they have the whole Up in Smoke crew there, so they could put anything on there. Probably. Everyone's there. Exactly. Eminem, Snoop, they're all there. So, Gil, your thoughts on Tom Brady's career? Do you think he's the greatest of all time? Any memories? What do you think of Tom Brady?
Yeah, I think everything Jose said is correct. To me, yeah, he's the greatest of all time. No hands down about it. The man has 7 Super Bowls. All he does is win. Congratulations to him on a great career. But like hands down, greatest of all time. He chose to end it. Have some fun with his family. Does he come back or not? Maybe. I know the sound of, like Jose's right. Sometimes the sound of retirement sounds good. Then you're at home and the kids are still young. They drive you nuts. You just go right back to work.
Yeah. I don't think he's coming back. I think I rewatched the game at the end when he lost to the Rams when Cooper Kupp made the play. And I looked at him on the bench and I'm like, he looked done to me. He looked like he was like, okay, I'm happy with my career. I think I'm done doing this now. The other thing is, like, if he was to come back at 45, he wants to win. Tampa Bay's not going to be the same team. They're going to lose a lot of players. San Francisco, outside of doing a 1-year thing with him, that would be the only place I could see him go, is go back home for 1 year with San Francisco because they don't think Lance is ready and play there. But I don't see it happening. I really think he is done. I just think he threw that thing out there, never say never, just to tease people. I don't think he's coming back. I think his wife would kill him if he went back, to be honest with you. His kids were there when he made the joke, so I don't think he's serious. I don't think he's coming back at all. I think he's done. He is the greatest of all time. There's not even a question about it. Even Brady haters can say that. I will say this. Yes, did Brady have great defenses? Yes. I will shoot back though on the talent. If you look at the first few Super Bowls, Brady made stars out of Troy Brown, Wes Welker, who couldn't start in Miami, Julian Edelman, who was a quarterback that was a nobody before he got there. Tom Brady won with talent in Tampa Bay, also lost with talent in New England. Their best team they ever had, he lost with twice. and won more Super Bowls with less talent than any quarterback I've ever seen. To me, that's what makes him the GOAT. He never had a superstar running back, ever. The entire time that he was a quarterback, I can't recall him ever having a superstar running back. John Elway had freaking Terrell Davis, right? So like I'm looking at that and I'm like, he had Randy Moss for 2 years. Other than that, he had no wide receiver superstar ever in his career. Mike Evans, okay, is he a superstar? Okay, you could say that. Antonio Brown, what was left of him, okay. Yes, he had Gronk, who was the GOAT tight end. You got me there. He perfect for his short throwing game. But I think that history will say he was the greatest of all time. I don't think there's any argument. He has more Super Bowls than any franchise. I mean, how can you really argue with that? So that was the end of Tom Brady. We'll end off with this, and this is just for Gil. We already know Jimmy G is going to be gone from our team. Jose, you're in agreement there. He's not. He's going to be gone, right? Now we go to Gil's team. Gil, will Aaron Rodgers become the host of Jeopardy, leave Green Bay for Denver or somewhere else, or stay in Green Bay next year?
Well, I read some sources today, and apparently he went to a golf course today and in Green Bay, and he caught some fans there, and he actually sat down with them and gave them some time, and the vibe that the fans were getting was that he looks like he's going to stay put. So apparently, like I think they're going to sign Adams.
They're going to franchise Adams.
They're gonna franchise him. I think they're in the talks of trying to do the run. They're figuring it out. But it looked, the way he talked to the sources were saying at the golf course today, that it looks like he's gonna stay put.
Okay, so if Rodgers, let's say the report's true, does the management say we're done with Rodgers?
If this even happens, in my opinion, I would give them that last shot. I think this is the last shot, and then or they get another quarterback,
because Love sucks. Love sucks.
Or redraft one, or trade, or rebuild. But I don't know.
Right.
Green Bay was never really a rebuilding team.
No.
Green Bay, since that I know them from the early '90s, Green Bay has been always fighting for playoffs, Super Bowls. I've never seen Green Bay like 2-16.
Well, they hit the jackpot with Favre and Rodgers, and they weren't even like Green Bay. They weren't even high picks. So
I don't.
So there you go. Right.
As far as I know, Green Bay has never been a rebuilding team, and if they started now, it would be a first that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're really a rebuilding team. They'll figure something out.
Jose, what do you think is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because the way the season ended, it was supposed to be their last dance and this and that. You know what? It's all going to depend on Devontae Adams. If he
he's getting franchised, Jose. He's getting franchised 100%.
But what is he? Is he a restricted or unrestricted free agent?
They can franchise him if they want, and they're going to franchise him. That's it.
But if he's unrestricted free agent, he can sign whatever if he can.
Not if he gets if he gets franchised, he can't sign with anybody else.
Okay, well then if he stays, then I think maybe they'll run it back.
Now he can hold out. I think Adams is going to hold out. If they franchise him, he's going to hold out. That's 100% going to happen.
But I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they'll franchise him. If for him to hold out, they won't do that.
Yeah.
And I think Green Bay is just like maybe a wide receiver away from being a great team. I think you have Devontae Adams, but then you don't have anybody else to.
I think they're a tight end away.
A tight end and another big name wide receiver. I think if they can get one in the free agency, whatever, if they have whatever, if trades or whatever, I think they're a couple offensive pieces away from winning that championship. I just think defensively they're pretty sound. They have good cornerbacks now. Like if they're healthy with Stokes and Alexander on the corners, their defense with Preston Wilson, they had a lot of injuries this year too, right? So.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he like against the Niners, he had like 2 sacks and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think they're just like one wide receiver and a tight end away from being a championship team. And I think if they run it back next year and if they can upgrade their offense, I think they have a chance of winning, going to the Super Bowl next year. But I don't know. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. if he goes to Denver, like Denver, what's so special about Denver? Like he's not gonna win a championship there. You have Mahomes, you have Herbert coming. AFC is like loaded with. He's probably it's gonna be tough for him. Like if he goes anywhere, it's gonna be a team that is guaranteed like to a shit division that can make the playoffs and go for that run, right? So
right.
I think he's gonna stay.
So I'll give you 3 different things that I think could happen. One, he could stay, and it's looking like he's going to stay. If I were him and the management was kind of messing around again, and they try to trade him to Denver, I would hold out and try to go to Indy. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to Indianapolis, and I'm going there because they have all the pieces in place to win a title, but they don't have a quarterback. So even if you even want to go further and even make it even funnier, send him to Tampa Bay. That'd be even funnier. Put him in Tampa Bay. I've even heard that he might go to San Francisco. So if he leaves Green Bay, he could end up anywhere. I think he's going to end up staying just because I don't think he had any excuses this year. I heard Jose talk about the offense. Look, they had the defense. They had they had this. The only thing they didn't have was special teams. They had the offense. Rodgers just didn't play well in that game. And this has been an ongoing thing in the playoffs with him. He hasn't played well in the playoffs. At some point, we got to stop blaming everybody else and look at him and say, he's not getting it done. And so does that mean you should trade him? No. But I don't think this is a situation where it's on the offense or the defense or the special teams. The special teams is awful. Rodgers didn't play well and didn't come up being what it mattered most. And so that's on him. Does he want to run it back and try to prove everyone wrong? Or does he want to start over? I don't think he's going to leave just because the situation is good in Green Bay. He's a hero there. He's loved there. Why would you want to go somewhere else? So I think he's going to stay unless they decide to rebuild the whole team, which I don't think they're going to do because then Gil would have to like rip off his shirt and change shirts or something. So that wouldn't be good. So I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to draw it out, though, put the drama out there, host Jeopardy a couple of times, say he might retire, do the whole drama thing, and then come back when they, draft some guys for him or get another offensive lineman or whatever. So he'll be back. So that's our thoughts on the Super Bowl and some offseason stuff. Gil and I have the Bengals going for the upset. Jose's got the Rams. Stafford for MVP. Me and Gil wanted to smoke some cigars after the game. Jose wants to, celebrate with OBJ, his hero, his big player there. So I'm surprised he didn't pick him for MVP, but we'll see what happens.
It's hard for a wide receiver to win MVP.
True.
It's always a quarterback or a guy that gets a lot of sacks or interceptions.
Von Miller,
or whatever,
right?
So
right. So
it's hard for a wide receiver to get MVP.
We'll see what happens. I hope that with the restrictions lifted, we can all get together and watch the game, which we'll talk about after this broadcast. But until we've had a lot of fun doing this, guys. This is our last show for the NFL this year. We will be back to do World Cup qualifying, which will be a fiery episode. Do not miss that one, people, because if all goes well, which Gil says never happens, Italy will play Portugal for the right to go to the World Cup. And Mario Balotelli will be on the team. Oh, my God. So you're talking about throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. That's what Italy's doing right now with all the injuries they have. And Portugal is out of form. My God, Ronaldo hasn't scored in 5 games. Jota got a pair today, but the rest of the team out of form. So we're going to have that game could be 0-0 going into the shootout. We saw Ronaldo miss a penalty. I hope he keeps doing that. And then we'll see what happens. But
he's saving them for Italy.
Yeah, he's saving it for. So we're going to do that later, but we will be back next year. We'll see if we change the format. We will have a survivor pool next year, so that'll be a part of our broadcast. We'll actually have our official picks and what the survivor picks are for each of our members of our pool. So that'll be a new thing that we do next year. But until next year, guys, thank you all for watching and joining us. Gil has won the pool by a very slight margin. Jose and I were right there, I think pretty close, tied, 1 game apart. So that tells you there's not much between us. Okay, we're all there. Next year, though, maybe we'll put a little money in the line, see what happens, and then it'll be a little more interesting. But until next year, and until the World Cup qualifiers, I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. This is Jose Gomes, and that's Gil Santos. See you next time on the Reese Report.